Hiya, it's Owlet here. Welcome back to my comic cupboard. I'm here to review part 2 of Legends of Tomorrow pilot. Here I was thinking we were going to get a second episode, but no, it's part 2 of the pilot. So let's get on with the review, legendary style. I'm going to stop trying to do jazz hands each time I introduce this. Maybe. I gotta stop hitting the cupboard. So, part 2 kind of just took off from where part 1 left off, obviously. When they're still in 1975, but they've gone to Norway now. And the merry band of misfits are literally just going to put their misfits in play this time. So we've got Heatwave and Cold, and Adam gets to tag along begrudgingly. And they've got to, go and steal stuff. Well, the dagger that is like magically Egyptian and super cool and can totally kill Savage, or so they say. But before they get to do any of that, they try and infiltrate this weapon auction is the only way I can think to describe it. And they're going in their 70s gear, and it was quite fun watching everybody rock their 70s gear. And ultimately Stein's ego gets in the way and it all just goes belly up, especially when Adam loses a part of his uniform, which puts technology that should not be in 1970 into the hands of the bad guy. Da 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 da. So, obviously they're not gonna let it get too crazy too fast, so they managed to get it back. But the weird thing for me with regard to all that was that at the end of the episode, everyone was feeling kind of down and out about how they kind of suck at saving the world and stopping Savage. And, Rip Hunter was genuinely annoyed when they screwed up yet another mission because they keep being like, "Excuse me, sir, but you have no idea what you're talking about because you lied to us." And I totally understand that they're mistrusting of Savage. Of Rip Hunter, not Savage, because he's a douche. But I can see why they're not keen to have Hunter tag along or to listen to him, except the fact that they already screwed up time the first time. It's a weird sentence. And now they just keep going on in all brazen, we can totally do this because, hello, we're nobodies who matter not at all when the time gets all wibbly wobbly. So it's kind of weird that they have this ego. I guess they really want to change their fates, and that's a good drive. And I think they are going to matter after this. I feel like that's where this is heading. But what is weird to me was that at the end, this is a really long-winded sentence, I'm sorry, was that they were all down and out, and Hunter was like, "No, you did really well, you got the Adam suit back from Savage, and you didn't screw up time, and here, look, Stein, meet your future wife again, that's all good." Except that they kind of caused those problems that were unnecessary to begin with because they didn't listen to him. And yet Hunter genuinely seemed to be he did slow clap sarcastically at one point, which was great, but he just was "Good job, guys, you tried to work together and it worked out really well." I was like, no it didn't. When did that happen? Hawkman got stabbed by Savage, which was unexpected. It's a good thing that they killed off the immortal guy first, because obviously he's gonna come back. Because if they're gonna do a thing where they kill off one of the Legends of Tomorrow crew every second episode, it's gonna be a really short season. But, it's a bit sad, and I think that Hawkgirl's acting was, supremely good. She seemed very sad and very distressed in the med lab, so mad props to her, and I really like her hair. Her hair is really cool. The battle scenes were all super fun and exciting. I did think it a bit weird twice in this episode with the whole time travel thing, when Stein had to go get his alpha tracker from his past self. He didn't know where he put his alpha tracker, so they had to try and con young Stein into showing it to them and pretend that they were from some Nobel Peace Prize organization thing. But what I don't get with that is why wouldn't he know where it is? And if they did know where it is, why didn't they just distract him while he went and got it? He was already kind of flirting with Canary, so it seemed really convoluted to have to go through all that just to get it and then have him stalk him back to the ship, which didn't ultimately even go anywhere anyway. And he seemed to remember, as in old Stein, seemed to remember quite a lot about that night. If it was your alpha particle tracker thingy, wouldn't you put it somewhere safe and know where that somewhere safe was, even I can't do math, 30, 40 years into the future? I mean, I can understand Hawkman not remembering what the dagger said, but once you realize that the Hawk Girl was the only one who could read it, and that she read it out loud to him, I was kind of like, man, I feel like you'd remember that. But he had 4,000 years of memory, so I'm willing to forgive that. But the Stein thing was just a little bit like, well, this was pointless. That was definitely an easier way to do that. Speaking of easy ways to do that, Cold and Heatwave were hilarious in their robberies. I just loved their can-do attitude for crime, and just how much Cold was fed up with everything that went wrong, but he never once lost his cool. He just stayed really calm and calculated. Heatwave was great as well. The fact that he was annoyed at Savage but kind of just went along with it, and he didn't play the damsel, which he, you know, obviously he wouldn't, but he has the potential to be quite dramatic, so it would have been interesting to see if they tried that. Interestingly, it's like an episode that didn't really develop the plot further, other than the fact that we know that the dagger is what can kill Savage, and it can only be wielded by Hawkgirl. But now Savage still has the dagger, and they're gonna have to wait for Hawkgirl to heal before they can go on. I mean, I had some great laughs. I love the fact that Cold referenced Gilligan's Island, A, because it was relevant to the era, and B, because it implies that he watches it enough to make a Ginger and the Professor reference. So, yes, that was great. Everyone in costumes was fun. It was just a fun episode, except for the whole stabby part. But yeah, I just was interested. I found some parts a little bit like, there had to be a better way to write this. But that's the fun of time travel, that you kind of want to make more problems, otherwise what's the point? I'm keen for episode 3, so far so good. We're 2 in and it's 2 for 2. If you're not watching Legends of Tomorrow, get on that. It's good stuff. And I will see you next week. Toodles!